The proceeding will start shortly.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Backbench Business Committee. We've got 4 applications in front of us this afternoon. We normally take them in the order that they have been submitted. So the first person who's with us this afternoon, who's on our list, is Debbie Abrahams. So Debbie, your application is on the subject of inequalities in dementia. So over to you, Debbie. Thank you very much indeed for coming.
Hopefully my application is self-explanatory, but just to flesh out a bit of the details, the APPG on dementia, which I'm the co-chair of and have been for the last 7 or 8 years now, undertook an inquiry last year which was specifically on dementia diagnosis. And we revealed quite stark evidence in terms of the inequalities that there are in diagnosis rates, and obviously you will know that the availability of, for example, new therapies that are coming down the line depend on a timely diagnosis and a type-specific diagnosis as well. But the first indication is a general diagnosis, and then you need to go on to a more specific one. So this was the basis for this application to the Backbench Business Committee. Just as an aside, it's in the notes, but just as an aside, we have variations of 90% in Stoke down to 40% in Devon. So that's the range of diagnosis rates that we're talking about, and obviously that makes a huge difference in terms of the availability of, as I say, therapies, but also in terms of the care that people receive as well. So hopefully it is something that the Backbench Business Committee will want to support.
Thank you very much indeed. Questions, colleagues, please?
Can I ask first of all, Debbie, you've ticked either the chamber, which frankly is not going to be available anytime soon, and Westminster Hall for a Tuesday. First thing obviously is, which would be the answering department? I assume it would be health, would it? Or would it be someone else?
No, it would be health and social care,
yeah.
Yes.
Would you accept a Thursday slot if we can give it to you before Easter?
It's about my availability, unfortunately. So in the same token that the chamber is difficult finding time for, Thursdays are a very busy day for me as well.
We have a slot that is available on Thursday, the was it 21st?
I definitely couldn't do that. I'm sorry.
Okay, right. Well, in that case, we'll try and sort that out for you, Debbie.
You.
But the thing is, we'll have to rely on the right rota for the answering department for a Tuesday in Westminster Hall. And I'm afraid to say our Tuesdays in Westminster Hall are now full until after Easter anyway. So
I wasn't expecting it to be, knowing how busy you all are and how busy business is at the moment. Hopefully it won't be the year that I had to wait for a debate in the past. But given this is such a huge, of such huge importance and relevance to hundreds of thousands of people, I hope you will make sure that it's as soon as possible in after recess.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. That's much appreciated. Thanks a lot. Right, next up, please, I'll take Alison and Nav Mishra, please, sir. Make yourselves comfortable. And your application this afternoon is on health inequalities in liver disease and liver cancer. So over to you.
Sure. Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Committee, for considering this application. We have seen an 18% increase in liver disease since 2019, and in the bit of England that I represent, my constituency is in the northwest. We've seen a 35% increase in premature mortality compared to the national average. So it's quite a serious issue. And this is one of those debates, if granted, it would be interesting to members from all parts of the UK, because sadly it is a disease that impacts everyone. I'm not familiar with the details for Scottish health data, but unfortunately I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't very good. The briefing today that we've been provided is from the British Liver Trust, which is a charity, and Liver Cancer UK, which is a charity. So they're both national and reputable charities, and this debate would be quite important, we feel, for the House. That's why we made a joint application.
Thank you. Alison?
Thank you very much, Chair. And to speak a little bit to the Scottish data and the relevance of the timing of this, Public Health Scotland are due to publish new data on health inequalities in liver disease outcomes on the 26th of March. So this is quite topical as well. Liver disease mortality rates are almost 6 times higher in the most deprived areas of Scotland compared to the least deprived areas, so there's a significant health inequality there as well. But my own local health board, Greater Glasgow and Clyde, has seen the biggest drop in liver disease and mortality across all health boards on the last 2 decades, with a 47.6% decline between 2003 and 2021. So there's interesting things going on there as well. And Scotland's very much at the forefront of innovation in prevention and earlier detection of liver disease. There's some very interesting work going on there, some interesting research going on there as well. Also, from a slightly personal point of view, I'm quite keen to highlight the impact of fatty liver disease. My husband had been diagnosed with that as well, has recovered from that, but most people associate it with alcohol rather than with other diet issues. So I think it's worth making sure that the debate happens so that is also highlighted, because we need to talk about the impact of obesity as well.
Could I just add something? I think to what Alison has said, there are 2 really important points that she's made. One is that the geographical inequalities are quite serious, but also in my own patch, Stockport is in Greater Manchester, and Greater Manchester ICS reported the highest premature mortality rate for liver disease in the country based on the latest data. And sadly, if you are in a more of a lower income background, in a more deprived area, you're much more likely to die early. And the last point, which I think is sadly quite important, is that the death rate, premature mortality rate for women is almost twice that of men, sadly. So it's quite a serious issue, and I think it needs serious consideration when it comes to the House of Commons, and we'd both be grateful if this could be granted at some point soon.
Right, thank you very much. Well, you will have just witnessed, Alison will have just witnessed an offer that was made to our previous applicant, that there is a Westminster Hall slot available on next Thursday, the 21st of March, which would be the first slot in the afternoon. If you'd be willing to take that, that would get you in before Easter. And that might be timely, given that report's going to be published the following week.
Well, I don't have an objection to that, but would it be possible to be considered for a debate in the main chamber?
You're not going to get anything in the main chamber till well after Easter, Nav.
I don't mind.
I don't mind at all. So. The new data won't have come out until the 26th, so we'll be operating in previous data, but I'm open-minded on that.
But I mean, that slot's available. Otherwise, you might be waiting quite some time. That's.
Go for it.
Might not be here, but are you going to be here?
I'm going to be about.
Okay, so okay.
Okay, excellent.
Is that 21st, Thursday?
Yes, Thursday the 21st, and it would be the first slot.
What time is that, sorry, Chair?
That would begin at 1:30. I understand that the mood music coming back from the House authorities about changing the standing orders to bring forward the Westminster Hall sitting times is very positive, but that's not going to be in time for yourselves. So we're hoping that after Easter, Westminster Hall sitting times will begin at 12:30 in the afternoon. So, but for next Thursday, it's 1:30. Okay.
Forgive my ignorance, Chair. How long is this slot?
It'll be 90 minutes.
It'll be 90 minutes, so we can encourage MPs from all parties to come in. Yeah.
Indeed. Okay, well, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much.
Appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank you. And next up, please, we have Mr. Jim Shannon. Jim, welcome, and making sure that the season ticket is still intact. And Jim, your application this afternoon is glaucoma and community optometry. So, Jim, over to you, please.
Mr. Chairman, again, I thank yourself and the Backbench Committee for giving me the opportunity to request this debate. We have 8 backbench names on the request. 3 from the Conservative Party, 4 from Labour, and myself. Why is this important? It's important, Mr. Chairman, because the sight loss to the economy is worth £36 billion per each year. It's quite almost incomprehensible to think it's that much, but it is. 22 people lose their vision to preventable causes each week. It's estimated that some 700,000 people in the UK have glaucoma. And vision loss to glaucoma cannot be recovered, but with early detection, it quite clearly and careful monitoring and regular treatment, most people can retain useful sight of life. So for patients with stable glaucoma, optometrists also have an ongoing role in monitoring their eye health and helping them to manage their condition. So whenever we ask for the debate on glaucoma and community optometry, we do that because we believe that community optometry can be I'm not sure if it's the right word, can be the salvation that perhaps maybe that eye care needs. Optometry service remained open for urgent care during COVID, but the eye tests dropped by 2020. It dropped by £4.3 million because of COVID, and you weren't able to have the same test, and that was part of the issue. But we do feel it's now an issue which must therefore be debated to highlight the worrying trend and the important role that community optometry will play in reversing it. So over the years, it's an observation, it's not a criticism, Mr. Chairman. Since 2017, eye health has been debated just 4 times with no specific debate on glaucoma or the role of optometrists. And just say this, at dentistry, and by the way, there's nothing wrong with that, has it been debated on at least 8 occasions. Now, I'm not saying it shouldn't be, by the way. The demand for the backlogs of 633,000 people waiting for NHS ophthalmology appointments in May 22. The Prime Minister made cutting NHS waiting lists one of his 5 key priorities. Marcia Takova, your colleague and my friend as well, introduced a bill which had support from 6 parties. This debate, I believe, is capable of attracting broad support, which is reflected by the diverse list of MPs named in this application. I would put it forward, Mr. Chairman, if I could, very honestly, very respectfully, and suggest it's time to debate this matter in Westminster. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions, colleagues, please?
So, Jim, in terms of this, you obviously requested a Tuesday or a Thursday.
Yeah.
The first slot we've got available is Thursday, the 25th of April, and you could have the first slot.
Mr. Chairman, well, Mr. Chairman will know this. Him and I discuss things on the Thursday in the chamber. I'm making a decision as of next week, Mr. Chairman, that I won't be spending time here on a Thursday. Unless it's something critical or 3-line whip. I'm going home at a 8:45 in the morning.
How can we cope with a business question without you?
I'm afraid, Mr. Chairman, it's something I've got to do. I just think that time would be better spent. Forgive me, Ian, sorry, Mr. Chairman, you and I have discussed this at some length the last 3 or 4 weeks. So I'm not going to do Thursday debates anymore. I'm going to do what I should be doing and spend the time in the constituency. I apologise for that, by the way. It's
all is lost, Jim. All is lost. Sorry, Wendy, please.
Yes, Thursdays will not be the same. Just a quick question from me, Jim. You've got a range of support there. My usual point is we would be looking for an even split of government and opposition. You've got 3 Conservative on there, and presumably wouldn't have an issue getting another one just to balance it out. If I'm nothing if not fair.
Okay. Yeah, I'll make sure that happens.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
That's
thank
great.
you very much indeed. All right, Jim. So in that case, if you're holding out for a Tuesday, we don't yet know the rotas for all of the weeks after Easter, but all of our slots in Westminster Hall on Tuesday after Easter are taken for the first fortnight, so it'll be some time after that. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I appreciate it, and again, I'm not being awkward. I'm just being honest with what I need to do, and it's just how.
Understandable, Jim. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. We have one other application, but I'm afraid to say the applicant is not with us. So I'll now close the public session, and we'll go into private session. Order. Thank you very much indeed.
The proceeding has ended. 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 The proceeding has ended.